Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders are finally catching a break as training camp progresses, with injuries slowly becoming less of a concern and key players returning to practice at just the right moment. Among the most crucial updates is Noah Brown, a veteran wide receiver whose presence has been sorely missed due to an injury sustained during minicamp. Brown had initially been expected to miss some time, yet he returned to the field and displayed promising agility, sharp movement, and overall confidence in the drills. His absence, however, quickly reminded the team and fans alike of his importance to the offense, especially with Terry McLaurin also sidelined. Dan Quinn, the Commanders' head coach, recently provided some clarity on Brown's recovery, explaining that he's transitioned from pure rehab into the return-to-play phase, focusing on accelerations, decelerations, and strength conditioning. Quinn emphasized that the trajectory is encouraging, highlighting that Brown's return could inject stability and veteran presence into a youthful wide receiver room just as the regular season looms. Noah Brown's contributions to the Commanders' offense have historically gone beyond highlight plays, even though many remember him for that iconic Hail Mary catch that defeated the Chicago Bears last season. Despite missing 6 games due to injury, he ranked 4th on the team in both receptions and receiving yards, underlining how much the offense depends on his reliability and experience. Brown's connection with quarterbacks extends beyond simple statistics, as he proved to be a consistent safety valve for both C.J. Stroud and Jayden Daniels, particularly in high-pressure situations like third downs and critical red zone opportunities. His chemistry with Daniels, who is entering his second year as a professional and carries the responsibility of building on his offensive Rookie of the Year campaign, is expected to be a key factor in how the passing game develops early in the season. Brown's presence allows the Commanders to blend veteran savvy with youthful energy in a wide receiver room that has been heavily tested in his absence. Training camp dynamics have highlighted just how crucial Brown's return is for the Commanders, as the team has not had a single session with its top 3 wide receivers, Brown, McLaurin, and an emerging young talent, practicing together. With the regular season approaching in less than 3 weeks, the coaching staff is eager to integrate these pieces to create cohesion and timing that can translate into early season victories. Offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury will likely rely on Brown's knowledge of the system and his ability to read defenses in real time to stabilize what could otherwise be a volatile passing attack. The youth in the receiving corps will need guidance, and having a veteran like Brown available on the field provides that mentorship and instant reliability, which is critical when relying on younger, less experienced receivers to step into major roles on game day. This timing could be pivotal in helping the Commanders start strong. Jayden Daniels, the Commanders' quarterback, has spent the offseason reflecting on his rookie campaign, which culminated in winning the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year award. While the achievement is significant, Daniels has emphasized the importance of closing the curtain on his first season to focus on improvements that will elevate his game in year 2. Guided by veteran insights from linebacker Bobby Wagner, Daniels concentrated on refining his mechanics, addressing tendencies that could be exploited by defenses, and fine-tuning footwork in alignment with Kingsbury's offensive concepts. These adjustments are essential for maintaining consistency under pressure, improving accuracy on throws from various drops, and enhancing mobility within a dynamic offense. Having Brown back provides Daniels with a reliable target, a safety blanket who understands his timing, and a receiver capable of making critical plays that can change the course of a game early in the season. The interplay between a quarterback and his receivers is always central to offensive success, and in the case of Daniels and Brown, the relationship has already shown tangible results. Brown has proven himself as more than a situational receiver, contributing significantly on third downs, in red zone opportunities, and in clutch moments that might not grab headlines but define a team's performance over a season. With McLaurin still recovering, the Commanders will lean heavily on Brown to provide consistency, help develop younger receivers, and ensure that the passing game maintains rhythm and effectiveness. This dynamic not only benefits Daniels in terms of confidence and decision-making, but also allows the offensive line and running game to operate with less pressure, knowing that the passing game has a reliable, experienced contributor ready to make plays at a moment's notice. Meanwhile, the NFC as a whole is seeing key movements and developments across other teams, which provides context for the Commanders' preparation. For example, the Cowboys are navigating injuries and recovery schedules for crucial offensive players, including Tyler Guyton and Jonathan Mingo, while quarterback Joe Milton will see preseason action as the team evaluates depth behind Dak Prescott. The Eagles have reflected on past draft choices, including the missed opportunity to select Justin Jefferson, showing how talent evaluation and player development can alter the competitive balance in the NFC. These parallel stories emphasize the importance of health, preparation, and veteran presence in key positions, reinforcing why Brown's return is so critical for Washington's aspirations to remain competitive in a tightly contested conference where the margins between victory and defeat are razor-thin. The youth infusion in the Commanders' receiving corps is both a challenge and an opportunity. With Brown back, these young players gain a mentor who can guide them in real time, help them understand complex defensive schemes, and integrate them into the offense without compromising efficiency. The mentorship extends beyond the physical aspects of the game. It includes understanding game tempo, reading defensive adjustments, and maintaining composure in high-pressure scenarios. The Commanders' coaching staff can leverage Brown's experience to accelerate the learning curve for these young receivers, creating a more balanced and multidimensional offense capable of sustaining drives and scoring consistently. This blend of veteran stability and youthful energy could be the difference between a slow start and a dominant opening stretch to the season. Dan Quinn's recent statements about Brown's recovery reflect both optimism and caution as the team balances urgency with long-term player health. Brown's progression from rehab to return-to-play drills, focusing on acceleration, deceleration, and strength work, shows a methodical approach to reintroducing him to live action. This methodical progression is crucial not only for avoiding re-injury, but also for ensuring that Brown's contributions are maximized once he steps back onto the field. His presence has strategic value, allowing the offense to diversify routes, implement more complex schemes, and keep defenses off balance. As the arrow points upward for Brown, it symbolizes not just personal recovery, but the broader potential uplift for the Commanders' entire offensive system, reinforcing the importance of measured, strategic player development ahead of the season kickoff. Brown's impact on the team goes beyond statistics, as his ability to connect with quarterbacks like Daniels and Stroud provides intangible benefits such as timing, confidence, and leadership. The chemistry between a quarterback and trusted receivers can make the difference between stalled drives and game-changing plays. For the Commanders, having Brown back means that Daniels has a familiar target capable of executing complex routes, adjusting on the fly, and maintaining composure under defensive pressure. These intangibles are difficult to quantify but essential for sustainable offensive success, especially when facing divisional opponents who are equally loaded with talent and experience. Brown's return, therefore, is not just a medical update. It is a strategic upgrade that could directly influence the team's ability to contend for playoff positioning in a competitive NFC landscape. Finally, the broader narrative of the Commanders entering the 2025 season is one of cautious optimism, fueled by recovering veterans, emerging young talent, and a quarterback committed to improvement. The integration of Brown into the lineup, alongside McLaurin's anticipated return, sets the stage for a dynamic, multifaceted offense capable of challenging defenses in multiple ways. Daniels' focus on refining mechanics, understanding defensive tendencies, and enhancing footwork will pair seamlessly with Brown's experience and reliability, creating a combination that can thrive in critical situations. The coaching staff's management of health, practice integration, and offensive timing will be central to translating these individual strengths into collective performance. As the team prepares for its season opener, the return of Noah Brown represents both a tangible asset on the field and a psychological boost, reinforcing confidence throughout the locker room, energizing the fan base, and setting the stage for what could be an exciting, competitive season for the Washington Commanders. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Shockwaves are rippling through the NFL world today as an unexpected, almost cinematic move has taken place in Washington. Chase Young, The defensive powerhouse whose presence on the field has been a nightmare for quarterbacks across the league is reportedly making a sensational return to the nation's capital. Sources close to team insiders suggest that this is no ordinary trade. Whispers in locker rooms and social media circles hint at a deal so sudden and strategically bold that even seasoned analysts are scrambling to process the implications. The Commanders, who have been quietly retooling their defense after a series of inconsistent seasons, are rumored to have orchestrated this move with meticulous timing, aiming to unleash Young's game-changing athleticism. Fans, journalists, and commentators alike are buzzing with speculation, imagining the ways this one acquisition could redefine Washington's defensive identity, ignite team morale, and create an immediate ripple effect throughout the NFC East, intensifying rivalries and reshaping the balance of power. Word of Young's return emerged late last night, carried through a series of cryptic social media posts from former teammates and insiders who hinted that the deal had been in motion for weeks. Analysts are dissecting the timing, suggesting that Washington might have leveraged a combination of draft picks, strategic negotiations, and cap space wizardry to pull off what many are calling a masterstroke. The player himself has remained mostly silent, with only subtle confirmations in interviews and hints via social media that fans have interpreted as excitement for his homecoming. Meanwhile, pundits are speculating endlessly on the locker room dynamics. Young's presence is expected to inject an entirely new energy into a team that struggled with consistency on defense last season. Rumors swirl about how head coach strategies will adapt, which teammates will benefit most, and how this move could influence the Commanders' standing in the coming season, sparking a flurry of speculative scenarios on sports networks and podcasts nationwide. The trade, according to insiders, was finalized with surprising swiftness, leaving rival franchises scrambling to comprehend what exactly Washington gave up to bring Young back. Early reports suggest that draft picks and a combination of role players may have been part of the deal, but the exact details remain shrouded in secrecy. This opacity has only fueled the fire of fan speculation, with Twitter threads, fan forums, and comment sections exploding with theories, debates, and unverified claims. Some claim that the Commanders' front office had been courting Young quietly for months, building a rapport and carefully timing the announcement to maximize impact. Others hint that the player himself had a decisive role, pushing for a return to familiar territory where his skills could flourish, relationships with coaching staff are well established, and his personal brand might resonate more strongly with fans. This is the kind of blockbuster maneuver that makes sports headlines leap off the page and dominate conversations for weeks. Chase Young's career trajectory makes this move particularly electrifying. Drafted as a top talent, he quickly established himself as one of the league's most disruptive forces, blending explosive athleticism with a keen understanding of game dynamics. Yet, injuries and team transitions have occasionally slowed his momentum, making his return to Washington appear almost poetic, a chance to reset, reclaim dominance, and prove that he can thrive in a system built around his strengths. The NFL community is already abuzz with predictions about how he will impact the Commanders' defensive schemes, which matchups he might dominate, and whether his arrival could intimidate division rivals. Analysts speculate that his presence could alter opposing game plans entirely, forcing quarterbacks to adjust protection schemes or rethink passing strategies. In short, this is not just a return. It's a potential tectonic shift in the competitive landscape of the NFC East. Fans in Washington are reportedly ecstatic, flooding stadium forums, fan groups, and social media platforms with messages of anticipation and support. Merchandise featuring Young's name has already begun trending, signaling both excitement and market-savvy expectations from the franchise. Rumor mills suggest that season ticket sales could spike, with the team leveraging Young's return as a cornerstone of marketing campaigns designed to galvanize the local fan base. Even casual observers of the NFL are taking notice, with discussions spilling into mainstream media and pop culture spaces, turning a single trade into a narrative that transcends the sport itself. The sheer intensity of anticipation is reminiscent of the kind of return moves that define legacies, not just for the player, but for the entire organization, creating a moment of collective breath-holding as everyone waits to see how the season will unfold with Young back in the fold. League insiders have hinted at behind-the-scenes maneuvering that reads almost like a thriller script. Negotiations, counteroffers, and last-minute changes are said to have shaped the final agreement, with Washington executing a strategy that left competitors both stunned and envious. This has fueled speculation about the Commanders' broader ambitions, signaling that the franchise is no longer content to occupy middle-of-the-pack status. Experts are analyzing patterns from previous seasons, identifying how Young's skill set aligns with defensive gaps the team has struggled to fill, and predicting scenarios where his impact could be decisive in crucial games. Even casual fans are drawn into the debate, with fantasy football enthusiasts reevaluating projections and sports bettors recalculating odds, further amplifying the ripple effect of this single, dramatic personnel decision. Chase Young's reappearance in Washington also raises questions about long-term planning and team chemistry. Teammates are reportedly adjusting to the news with a mix of excitement and cautious optimism, aware that integrating a high-profile talent can bring both immense benefits and logistical challenges. Coaches are said to be redesigning portions of the defensive playbook to maximize Young's effectiveness, a move that could redefine game day strategies and inspire younger players. Meanwhile, analysts speculate on how rival teams might counteract this surge in defensive capability, imagining potential trades, defensive adjustments, or offensive game plans crafted specifically to neutralize Young's return. The narrative has already begun to evolve, transforming a single trade into a saga that will be dissected, debated, and dramatized across sports media for weeks to come. Even beyond tactical implications, the human story is compelling. Young's personal journey, marked by triumphs, setbacks, and perseverance, adds a layer of emotional resonance to the headline-grabbing trade. Fans connect not just to his on-field exploits, but to the idea of a prodigal player returning to familiar ground to reignite his career. Interviews hint at Young's motivation, his desire to compete at the highest level, and his readiness to embrace leadership responsibilities within the locker room. Speculation abounds about mentorship roles he might assume, how younger defenders could flourish under his guidance, and the broader cultural impact on the team's identity. Washington's front office may have acquired more than just a player. They might have secured a symbol of aspiration, grit, and competitive rebirth that extends far beyond individual statistics. Sports commentators are already drawing parallels with past NFL blockbuster returns, analyzing historical precedents, and considering how this trade compares in scale, surprise factor, and potential consequences. The consensus seems to be that this is not merely a roster adjustment, but a statement of intent. Washington is sending a clear signal that it intends to contend aggressively and shape the narrative of the coming seasons. Rumors abound that additional moves may be in the pipeline, with the organization's newfound momentum prompting speculation about further trades or strategic acquisitions that could complement Young's presence. As analysts, fans, and insiders dissect every angle, the story evolves daily, creating a dynamic, ever-shifting drama that captures the imagination of anyone invested in the NFL's unfolding season. Social media has amplified every nuance of the story, transforming the trade into a multi-layered spectacle. Memes, highlight reels, opinion threads, and fan polls flood the digital landscape, reflecting both excitement and apprehension. Analysts debate what this move signifies for team strategy, draft capital, and salary cap management, while fans engage in lively speculation about rivalries, playoff potential, and iconic moments that might define Young's return. Some argue that this could catalyze a renaissance for Washington football, while skeptics warn that high expectations carry inherent risks. Regardless, the collective anticipation is palpable, with every announcement, photo, or interview magnifying the narrative tension. The NFL community is collectively holding its breath, bracing for a season that may very well be remembered as the moment Chase Young returned to reshape Washington football in ways no one fully anticipated. The broader NFL ecosystem is responding with intrigue, envy, and excitement. Competing franchises are rumored to be revisiting trade strategies and scouting reports. Analysts are recalibrating rankings and projections, and commentators are framing Young's return as a defining moment of the offseason. The story has all the hallmarks of a narrative that will dominate headlines for weeks, blending athletic prowess, strategic maneuvering, and the irresistible allure of an underdog, or in this case, a superstar, returning to familiar territory. Fans, pundits, and players alike are left to wonder how the season will unfold, what matchups will become legendary, and whether this singular move could serve as the catalyst for a dramatic resurgence. The NFL, it seems, is about to enter a new chapter, with Chase Young at the epicenter of speculation, excitement, and undeniable drama, poised to leave an indelible mark on the league and the Commanders' history. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.